America are on their way to the moon. A private company, strangely enough funded by NASA, has a lunar rover on top of a SpaceX rocket that's currently hurtling towards the moon. What a silly, desperate charade.
Hello and welcome back to the broadcast booth at Intuitive Machines' Mission Operations Center in Houston, Texas.
Oh, thank you for having us in the booth. And I've got to say, the calming music's wonderful. Let me just center up here. Now I'm back to balance. I'm going to pose myself a question. Am I calm and relaxed enough to accept the bullshit? There is no doubt to follow. Of course I'm not.
Now, flight controllers are preparing planned trajectory correction maneuvers ahead of lunar orbit insertion.
I really hope that goes okay.
Since the IM-1 mission launched on SpaceX's Falcon 9 rocket, flight controllers on our red, white, and blue teams have been learning more about the lander and how to efficiently fly the mission to return the United States to the surface of the moon.
You would have thought NASA, who've supposedly been to the moon and are funding this so-called private company, would have given them some hints and tips regarding their previous so-called visits. But no, it's just a regurgitated charade, a pathetic one, where NASA supply the data to the company that they're funding that's supposedly private. They also supply the imagery. These boys in the control room, who look incredibly bored looking at these numbers, but are being paid handsome, therefore won't question any of it. And of course will think they've landed on the moon or whatever. And this is how this silly charade works. Just naive, gullible people believe in this tosh, not having any discernment whatsoever.
Have been learning more about the lander and how to efficiently fly the mission to return the United States to the surface of the moon. Yesterday, Intuitive Machines published the first IM-1 images capturing our home as our lander drifted away towards the moon.
Gotta say, mate, your Earth, your globe Earth there is looking a bit squidgy and egg-like.
These images are only a few of what our Nova C-class lunar lander actually sent to Houston. It takes a lot of planning, work,
Ridiculous.
and a little bit of luck to get images like these. Payload integration managers program the lander's wide and narrow field of view cameras to take 5 quick images every 5 minutes for 2 hours, starting 100 seconds after separating from SpaceX's second stage. So, what we actually got back to Earth looks something like this. Out of all these images, the ones we chose to show humanity.
Epileptic tosh, where you show something that is impossible, the globe Earth, and flash it at us, and then claim a result. Yeah, great.
Humanity's place in the universe came down to 4 wondrous images that we hope inspire the next generation of risk takers. Moving forward, Intuitive Machines.
You literally have to be a risk taker to believe in the globe and space at this point in time. And when I say space, they claim these rockets and space stations are in a vacuum, okay? They claim that they've left the air pressure system of Earth and gone to this place of a vacuum. For that to be real and happening, these rockets and spacecraft would have needed to gone through a solid wall. The solid wall would need to be there to separate the air pressure system from the vacuum of so-called space. Fact, not an opinion, a scientific fact, one that proves this is just a silly charade anyway. Then they show you the globe, you know is tosh. You just look at the anyway, it's just regurgitated tosh. And then what they actually show you is like an epileptic nightmare of...
Next to execute lunar orbit insertion on February 21st with a lunar landing opportunity on the afternoon of the 22nd. We intend to stream the landing on the Intuitive Machines IM1 webpage and announce the exact landing time tomorrow as Columbia Sportswear takes over the exterior of Sphere in Las Vegas, showcasing the role OmniHeat Infinity technology.
Yeah, whatever. So the big question is, will this so-called moon landing be pushed as a success? India tried, failed. Japan tried, failed. Of course, being America, and of course they supply the data anyway, NASA that is. I've got a sneaking suspicion they might push for this to be a success, that not only did America go back to the moon, that a private company did it and landed successfully. And that'll push a whole load of, well, I'm thinking it might push a whole load of other so-called private companies, which no doubt would be funded by American government or NASA behind the scenes, which of course exposes it anyway. That'll start a whole pantomime influx of so-called successes on the moon, and all you'll get is data. Geezers sat round in a room looking pretty bored, looking at numbers. Matey boy here playing his calming music, and hope you buy into the tosh. And the usual set of imagery, which we all know is nonsense anyway. By now, you should have cameras set up on the moon, filming 24/7, all over the moon. Like I said, it would save millions of lives just based on weather alone. Of course, no one's been to the moon, and the Earth's not a ball. Fact. That's why we have to entertain regurgitated tosh like what we just experienced here. Have a good one, everyone.